Okay, so a lot of times women experience brain fog or other cognitive difficulties during pregnancy, and they may not really know what that means for their brain and what kind of changes are going on there. So, researchers did a study where they looked at brain scans of women before they became pregnant and then up to 2 years after pregnancy. It was really, really interesting with what they found because the gray matter, which is what contains the neurons on the outer surface of the brain, that actually decreased during pregnancy, and they saw it took about up to a year or 2 years in some women to come back. But I don't want you to think that that is because your brain isn't working as well. This also happens a lot in puberty too. We see it in adolescence. So try to think of it as your brain is specializing itself or it's fine tuning into developing the woman's body and brain into being a mother. So another interesting finding was that they're looking at the white matter, and the white matter has a lot to do with the connectivity between the gray matter and the brain. So that's really communications in the brain, and they saw an increase in that. So what that means is that it's developing the mother's brain again to transition into motherhood. And what was super, super interesting about this study was that the white matter increased very rapidly and then went back to baseline after birth. So what this means for neuroplasticity in the brain. This was such a very short time period where we're talking about months that this happened. So it shows that even in adulthood, the brain is capable of making such neuroplastic changes in a short amount of time. And in functional neurology, when we're working with this idea or this conception of neuroplasticity, this is great for us because it's proof right here that even in adulthood, when what was previously known that your brain isn't going to change, it stays where it's at, that old misconception is totally outdated. And here we have research showing that the brain's capable of making such fine-tuned changes very, very quickly. So just goes to show that even though you may be feeling that your brain is a little bit, it's having some brain fog, you may be forgetting a few things here and there, it's just because your brain's putting so much time and energy into specializing and getting ready to prepare you best to be a mother.